be 1 in 4 of every human being on the face of the earth by the year 2050. And then you add to that the black diaspora. Globally, that's hundreds of millions more people. No, African Americans, you are not a domestic American minority. Your people are a global supermajority of the world's future. And the framing that has trapped you inside a perpetual harm reduction calculation, this, in my opinion, is the greatest scam that was ever committed against you. That you fell for.
So then what did this system come back with? A new Jim Crow of mass incarceration that has ground up millions of black lives. So when I tell the story, this is science, when I tell the story of a black woman in Harlem with binoculars next to her window watching in terror every time her 12-year-old, 13-year-old son crosses the street because of what police do every day to black people. Every fucking day. When I talk about that, that is a particular that concentrates a huge reality that is defining to this country. And that's scientifically true. It's evidence-based. It's woven into the fabric of this society. It's culture, it's economics, and it's global reach. And so we could debate. If you want to argue that's not scientific, bring some evidence. If you didn't hear the science, then please. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me that it's a marginal thing. Tell me that to talk about that, I'm pimping off of it. I'm acknowledging reality. You want to say it's not defining to this country, that we shouldn't talk about it? I am talking about it.
So welcome back, family. We are watching a debate that happens across the American system every single day. And that is the constant argument over whether the structural pain, the labor, and the Black American history matter, right? If they matter, or if they are just a complaint we need just to get over with. Because whenever somebody stands up and points out that the wealth, the territory, the infrastructure, the culture of this great nation are built, on the backs of the black labor, the immediate defense mechanism of the system is always to call it identity politics, right? Well, they try to make it like talking about our specific history is a distraction from the bigger picture. Now, I pose a question: what bigger picture can there be than our very own history?
Exactly.
Black American history is the bigger picture. Is that bigger picture?
I think you build a foundation of your speech on working against identity politics. Yet, I think so conveniently, and it was kind of ignorant, that all of your examples of oppression or people going through struggle were all from the black community. So if you could so conveniently use one specific ethnicity to kind of propagate your ideals, is that not identity politics in itself?
You allege I only spoke about what black people face in this society, and that that's a form of identity politics. In fact, it is not. First of all, I spoke about the Bangladeshi women in the sweatshops sewing our clothes. I talked about women who've been forced to have children against their will in that form of enslavement. I spoke about trans people who have faced over 500 laws this year introduced or passed. Not to mention the terror that's enforced against them. I spoke about what happens on this planet as a whole as it is heating due to the destruction of climate change driven forward by the system of capitalism and imperialism. So if you missed all that, I'm not surprised if you also missed some of the scientific undergirdings of it. But to be fair, I will walk through it again. I speak about black people in a very pronounced way when we come to revolution, because the exploitation, the enslavement, the dehumanization, and the degradation that's been inflicted on black people is foundational to this society and this system. And that is scientifically a fact. It's evidence-based. The wealth of this country, the territorial reach of this country, the military strength of this country got its roots in American slavery. The chattel slavery of black people. And then on that foundation, the ideology of white supremacy, of black inferiority, was propagated. It was made a bedrock, of one of the glues of this society, and it has been woven into this society ever since. The forms of oppression have changed. It took a civil war to end slavery, but then what happened? After not even 10 years of Reconstruction, where black people were brought into some rights within this country, that was betrayed. The troops were pulled out. And black people were re-enslaved in new conditions, slavery by another name, sharecropping for generations, serf-like conditions enforced through terror, lynch mob terror and violence. And the troops were pulled out to go and finish off the extermination of the native peoples. Okay? Then, Another generation comes up in the face of changes in the U.S. economy and the need to pull black people out of the South and into the factories. Black people stood up and they waged struggle in the civil rights movement. They gave their lives, they stood up. White people stood with them. They went down from the North and stood with them. This upended Jim Crow. It was heroic. Many did just unbelievably brave things. And then that was dismantled. And what did this system come back with? A new Jim Crow of mass incarceration that has ground up millions of black lives.
You see what?
There's an EE1 for everyone. Find your perfect mix with mobiles for all the family on the UK's best network, plus TV and broadband. Ask about EE1 in store or online.
We're stealing our stuff. What about Goldilocks? What the hell's Goldilocks? Damn it, yeah. We're stealing people's identity. Romans. Tell the world about Romans. Vikings. Saxons. Talking about that. That's who you are.
You see, what's happening here is that the moment the discussion centers on the specific historic tracking of black population, the argument gets shifted. The opponent tries to dilute the point by accusing the speaker of ignoring everyone else, of ignoring the Latinas, of ignoring the Indians, of the indigenous people, right? And this is a classic defensive move called the post-neutrality. So when the people can handle the specific truth about how the black Americans were targeted by design, by the white system, right? The white racial system, the brutal system, they try to change the subject to global suffering. They say, what about other workers from other countries, right? What about workers from other countries? What about other struggles? Yes, it's true. Exploitation happens globally. But you cannot cure specific disease by just assuming or by pretending that every patient in the hospital, right, has the exact same code. Foundational blueprints of America's economic dominance, that is the system of banking, the real estate, the labor laws, was stress tested and perfected on black bodies first. That is true. Because when you understand that, you realize that focusing on black history isn't identity politics. It's diagnosing the root cause of the entire machine. And the machine will be this whitewash system that rewards evil to the black community and the people of color. So let's watch the rest of this debate, especially the part where they argue about what counts as science and what counts as reality.
So when I tell the story, this is science, when I tell the story of a black woman in Harlem with binoculars next to her window watching in terror every time her 12-year-old, 13-year-old son crosses the street because of what police do every day.
Go on, miss.
Every day to black people.
Go on, miss.
Every fucking day.
Thank you, miss.
When I talk about that, that is a particular
miss.
that concentrates a huge reality that is defining to this country. And that's scientifically true. It's evidence-based. It's woven into the fabric of this society. It's culture, it's economics, and it's global reach. And so we can debate. If you want to argue that's not scientific, bring some evidence. If you didn't hear the science, then please. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me that it's a marginal thing. Tell me that to talk about that, I'm pimping off of it. I'm acknowledging reality. You want to say it's not defining to this country, that we shouldn't talk about it?
I want you to talk about it.
I am talking about it, yeah.
Just the fact that something actually matters or is true doesn't, anything that's empirically based is not science, right? It's like saying anything that's true is scientifically, like, it's science. It's not. So I understand.
Okay, let me help. So go ahead. Maybe you should get the mic.
I understand that your point is I want to be building arguments based on reason and rationale.
Here, take the mic just so it gets.
I understand that your point is I want to be building arguments on reason and rationale. But that doesn't mean that it's scientific, and that doesn't mean that it's false or wrong. Okay. I'm saying that the validity of your argument doesn't increase by throwing the word science out.
Well, so I would argue that science actually can be applied to all of reality, not just narrowly in engineering or in the natural sciences. No, this is important. What you're raising is widely felt, it's widely believed, it's widely taught, I'm sure on this campus, that you can apply science to medicine, to nature, to the natural world. There's the hard sciences, but when you get to social reality, it's just opinions, it's experience, whatever. No. You can apply science to everything. Everything that is part of reality, which societies are, can be analyzed scientifically. All science means, in a universal sense, is it's an evidence-based process. You gather evidence about reality, and you look for the deeper causes of the patterns in reality. And you can apply that to a society, just like you can apply it to a rainforest, just like you can apply it to a virus. You can say, what is the most defining thing about any given society? What undergirds it? What are the laws in its functioning? And a scientific analysis of this society says the most defining thing about this country is it's a capitalist, imperialist mode of production. That all of our needs are met through exploitation and people laboring in conditions all over the world to get the food we need, the clothes we wear, the pens we use, the microphones. All of this is created through global networks of production. And that all of our cultures, all of our ways of living, all of our ways of relating grow out of and have to reflect and more or less correspond to that. And so when we live in a society where the exploitation and oppression of black people has been woven into that mode of production all the way down to today, it leads to the culture and the society and the kind of police terror that we have today. That's applying science to a social contradiction.
So I generally agree with Professor Taylor, and these are my reasons. So first, when this young Indian man challenges the idea that history can be looked at scientifically, what he is actually saying is that if you can't measure your community's history or historical advantage, right, in a lab test tube, then your history is just an opinion. It's just an emotional complaint. That is what he says. So they want us to look at the world through a broken lens. They want us to believe that the social conditions we see today are just a random collection of accidents. But the truth is that when we look at the evolution of oppression, we are looking at a system that mutates to survive. And when we talk about mutation, we are talking about the outer appearance, the changing of the outer appearance, right? But the core DNA remains identical. That is, when the chattel slavery was legally ended, the economic demand for free forced labor did not just disappear overnight, right? The system simply updated its software. It quickly created black codes and convict leasing laws. That is, these laws made it a crime for a black person to simply not have a job. And if you're convicted, you are leased out to private coal mines, railways, and plantations to work for free. The shape of the cage changed from a private slave plantation to a state-managed prison camp, but the extraction of black labor remained exactly the same. The economic engine of the Western world was uniquely capitalized by the commodification of black bodies. When insurance companies like Lloyd's of London were starting out, they weren't ensuring generalized human suffering.
Supporting more businesses than any other network. BT, behind brilliant things.
I'll give it up. If I give my love to you, I'll give it all to you. And if I sing this song for you, I'll sing it all for you. A word without love, nothing to me. A world without joy, nothing to me. Take my hand and hold me straight to your heart. I need your loving, and I need it more and more. Never, never give my love. Please don't wait. Never, 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 never.
You're in black, so I love
I'll give it all to you. And if I sing this song for you, I'll sing it all for you.
Hello. Hello.
I work without joy, nothing to me. Take my hand and
Yeah.
take to your heart.
Yeah.
I need your loving. Need it more and more. Never, never give my love away. Please don't give it away. Never, never give my love away. Please don't give it away.
We're the crew now. The crew. We're the crew now. You want to do beatboxing? Hi. The DMs and the crew. Bring this. But I really
Nothing to me. I won't without joy. Nothing to me. So take my hand and lead me straight to your heart. I need your loving and I need you more and more. Never, never give my love away. Please don't give it away. Never, never give my love away. Please don't give it away. If I give my love to you, I give it all to you. And if I sing this song for you, I'll sing it all for you. 'Cause a world without love, nothing to me. A world without joy, nothing to me. Take my hand and lead me straight to your heart. I need your loving and I need it more and more. Never, never give my love away. Please don't give it away. Never, never give my love away. Please don't give it away. It's only true love that I bring, and it means everything. When you need me, I'll be there. And I'm sure that I care. I won't be without love. Nothing I need to me. I won't be without you. infatuation. But ooh, it's lasted so long, so long. Now I find myself wanting. I wanna marry you, take it home. Whoa. Send me.
I'm trying to multitask here, innit? Where you like it from? Why? Am I trying to pick it up on the woman? Like, doing a lousy job, I know. I know. What if you've never seen? Get with your husband, pay welfare. Your sister be here done. But you know what, she's waking up now. You damn tramp. I know. Who's interfering? Didn't say to no other sons. Didn't put that seed in no other daughter's head apart from ours. Lee Tram. And you've had life so easy. So easy, you and your sons, but your sons are the ones that are committing suicide the month. Now, how can that be when everything's set up for you to have? Everything's stolen for you to have. And your sons are the ones that are committing suicide the most, white sons. So how is that? It's called spiritual. That's what it's called. Because the materials don't speak to you. They ain't the voice in it. Keep telling you that. But the things that does speak to you, you don't want to know. So they end up killing you. Because when they haunt you, you can't take it in you. You know when you're on your own. That's when they get you when you're on your own. And what do you do? Commit suicide, you damn tramp. You commit suicide. Damn tramp. Can't really call and say, this is what you calling on me for? You should owe me money. Say treat you, talk to you like an idiot. Right? You open yourself up to it. That's what you've done. And don't expect no sympathy from it, no empathy at all, right? Because if you'd have held on to your grandma and your grandpa, right, and learned some manners, anytime you're in problems, they would have helped you. And anytime we got to say, what are you coming to me for, you idiot? And then what have we got to do? What have we got to do? Like he's got any compassion. No, only in the beginning when he wants to trick and get you. Damn fool. No idea, miss. Doesn't want to put on the dress now, does he? He doesn't want to put the bra on no more now, does he? What about the petticoat? You don't want to put the petticoat on no more, do you? You little batty face. You little batty face. I know, miss, what can I say? You batty face. You see, life is serious now, yeah? See, it's not a joke now, yeah? You don't want to put on your brassiere. Put the brassiere back on, you damn tramp. Yeah? Put it back on. Before you could take the mick out of life, yeah? Put the brassiere back on. You stay there. You have no idea what's going on, guys, do you? No idea. No idea, people.
School, to make friends.
Why?
To live a full life.
Why?
Or to abuse.
Why?
And they took away
to children. Abuse.
Tonight at 10, a man who adopted and then murdered a baby boy is jailed for life and will never be released. Preston was just 13 months old when he was murdered by Jamie Varley, a school teacher who subjected him to 4 months of physical and sexual abuse.
His chance to grow up, to go to school, to make friends, to live a full life.
Also on the programme, the polls have just closed in the Makerfield by-election, from where, if elected, Labour's Andy Burnham hopes to challenge Sir Keir Starmer for the leadership.
Hello from Wigan. I have covered umpteen by-elections, but none as remotely significant as this one.
A 3-year-old boy is in hospital with serious injuries after being found in a crocodile enclosure in a zoo. A man has been arrested. Hopeful Scotland fans en route to Boston for their team's second World Cup match tomorrow against Morocco. While England fans are still savouring their victory against Croatia, and it proved a very late night for some.
I feel like everyone wants to watch the game. I think everyone wants to support the team. This is the first one that I got to stay up like late, and the last one I was like 6 years old, so I really couldn't remember anything.
In the West, Gloucestershire MP Cameron Thomas is suspended by his party tonight after being arrested and questioned by the police. And Lewis Moody ticks off Gloucester and Bath on his big MND fundraising bike ride. With you at 10:30.
Good evening. Preston Davey was only 13 months old when he was murdered by a teacher who'd adopted him and subjected him to months of sexual, physical and emotional abuse. Today, the man responsible, Jamie Varley, was sentenced to a whole life order, meaning that he will spend the rest of his life in prison for what the judge called a case of the most extreme gravity. Varley's partner, John McGowan Fazakali, was sentenced to 25 years in jail for crimes including allowing the death of a child. Danny Savage reports now from Preston Crown Court, and his report contains upsetting detail.
Again.
A new video released today of Preston Davey, taken by the heartbroken foster parents who loved and cared for him before he was adopted. They still watch these videos to remember the little boy they miss so much. Preston was then adopted by 2 men who were unbelievably cruel and abusive to him. Jamie Varley murdered him. He showed no reaction today as he was sentenced.
This is a case of the utmost extreme gravity. You will stay in prison for the rest of your life.
So you say.
You will never be eligible for parole.
So you say.
Varley's partner, John McGowan Fazakali, was sentenced to 25 years for allowing the death of a child, sexual assault.
Jen Varley is an evil and monstrous individual.
He's a grown man
who sexually, physically and mentally abused a vulnerable baby for his own sadistic pleasure, and the most extreme example of sordid and wicked behaviour by two completely remorseless human beings.
Alongside the officer was Preston's birth mother, Sarah Davey. He also spoke on her behalf.
He was defenceless. They took away his chance to grow up, to go to school, to make friends, to live a full life. They took everything from him.
An independent child safeguarding practice review is underway. Part of it is expected to focus on whether any opportunities were missed in the care of Preston before his death. Key dates include May the 25th, 2023, when Preston is taken to A&E, where he has a suspected seizure. A medical report notes unexplained injuries inconsistent with a version of events given. Social services and police are called, but bruises are not regarded as suspicious. On June the 30th, Varley takes Preston back to A&E with a rash and high temperature. Bruising to his head is put down to him putting a box on top of himself. Varley comments, "You lot are going to think we have been abusing him or something." And on July the 6th, Preston is taken to A&E with a broken elbow. A social worker visits home the next day and notes Preston tries to smile but looks sad and cries a little. Preston Davey should have had his 4th birthday this week. Instead, every detail of his horrific last few months alive will now come under further scrutiny. Danny Savage, BBC News.
Social Affairs Editor Alison Holt is here with me. Alison, this little boy was in the process of being adopted, meaning that social services would have been heavily involved. How could this have happened?
Well, I think that will be one of the key elements of the child safeguarding practice review that Danny mentioned. You know, their starting point is likely to be the original decision to allow the two men to adopt Preston. Obviously, the authorities thought that they would be able to provide him with a safe, loving, kind home. And Fazakali and McGowan Fazakali and Varley would have gone through extensive checks and vetting beforehand. So it is particularly shocking that within 4 months, Preston was dead. That raises many troubling questions about, for instance, the quality of those checks, about whether social workers, doctors and police were sceptical enough when Preston was taken to the hospital on those occasions. And Varley also told people he was struggling as a parent, so why wasn't there more curiosity about what it meant for Preston? Now, the local safeguarding review will try to answer some of those questions about the decisions made. Also today, Children's Minister John said he's sending independent experts into Oldham Council, the Hospital Trust and the Adoption Agency to assess whether or not they have...
2 men. They said 2 men said, "Oh, I want to adopt a child." 2 men. And give me to 2 men. And it so happens that 2 men were having sex with the child. Having sex with the child. Because you say it's all right for a man to now be a woman. And now he's so responsible he can look after a child. 13 months as well. Serve you damn right, man. Serve you damn right. This is your filth. Look at the little poor child. It's an infant. Look at that. That's a nursing infant. Now look at the child. And you're giving the child away like that to him and him. You're a joke. Because you want your nastiness to work. It doesn't work. How the hell is that going to work? What's he know about children? Oh, this is just a joke, man. This is an absolute joke.
4 months, Preston was dead.
You and his damn sons.
That raises many troubling questions.
When are you going to start seeing? You can't give them little children to look after. Because he says, now I'm a
Point is
woman.
likely to be
I've had an
the
operation,
original
so I'm a
decision
woman.
to allow the 2 men to adopt Preston.
It's a joke.
Obviously, the authorities thought...
It's a joke. It's an insult to truth.
Danny Savage, BBC News.
Go on like you don't know what you're doing.
Social Affairs Editor Alison Holt is here with me. Alison, this little boy was in the process of being adopted, meaning that social services would have been heavily involved. How could this have happened?
What do you mean how?
Well, I think that will be one of the key elements of the child safeguarding practice review that Danny mentioned. You know, their starting point is likely to be the original decision to allow the 2 men to adopt Preston. Obviously, the authorities thought that they would be able to provide him with safe, loving, kind home. And Fazakali and McGowan, Fazakali and Varley would have gone through extensive checks and vetting beforehand. So it's particularly shocking that within 4 months, Preston was dead. That raises many troubling questions about, for instance, the quality of those checks, about whether social workers, doctors and police were sceptical enough when Preston was taken to the hospital on those occasions. And Varley also told people he was struggling as a parent, so why wasn't there more curiosity about what that meant for Preston? Now, the local safeguarding review will try to answer some of those questions about the decisions made. Also today, Children's Minister Josh McAllister said he's sending independent experts into Oldham Council, the Hospital Trust and the Adoption Agency to assess whether or not they have learnt lessons from this tragedy. Now, Preston's grandma has suggested the two men were treated differently by the authorities because they were a gay couple. But Varley was a teacher, he was a head of year in secondary school, and he was safeguarding trained. Sentencing him, the judge said today he had no doubt that this, along with his charm and his easy manner, had done a lot to reassure professionals that all was well. Child protection experts say it underlines the importance, the need for asking difficult questions when a child's safety is at stake.
Thank you very much. Now, polls have just closed in the Makerfield by-election in Greater Manchester, a contest that many are saying is set to be one of the most significant by-elections in decades. Our political editor, Chris Mason, joins us from the Count. What is the mood there, Chris?
Yes, evening to you, Rita. Welcome to the Edge. It's a church and community centre on the edge of Wigan, just outside the Makerfield constituency and just on the edge of the River Douglas that runs through the town. Let me show you around the Count Centre. Polls closing here just a few minutes ago. You can see some ballot boxes have already arrived. The verification process of those ballot boxes and those ballot papers is beginning. I can show you a gentleman in shirt sleeves, a white shirt and open-necked shirt at the back of the room there. That is Josh Simons, the former Labour MP who resigned the Makerfield seat in order to trigger this by-election to try and give a passage back to Westminster for Andy Burnham, the Labour candidate, the Mayor of Greater Manchester. And as we look through the rest of the room, you see that beginning process of ballot papers being taken out of the boxes and the initial inspection of them going on. And then beyond that, the media pen, which I suspect will be far more lively in the coming hours than it is now, because Rita, as you know, on by-election nights, like on any election nights, 10 o'clock at night is, well, the night is young. We're not going to be getting the result here until the middle of the night.
Indeed, Chris. Stay there. We'll be back to you in just a moment. But meanwhile, in Scotland, there have also been 2 by-elections on the East Coast, with voters in the constituency of Arbroath and Broughty Ferry, and also in Aberdeen South casting their votes. So live now to James Cook, who's in Aberdeen for us. James.
I'm going to make things different for you guys.
Yes, good evening to you. A couple of years ago, when Labour swept to power in the general election, the SNP held on to the seat in Aberdeen South and Arbroath and Broughty Ferry, and at that point Labour was in second place in both of those seats, but a lot has changed since then. Why is this by-election happening? Why are these 2 by-elections happening? That's because the 2 sitting MPs have been elected to the Scottish Parliament. They're moving from Westminster to Holyrood. But that's not the only thing that's changed by any means. We've heard, as Chris was saying there, the Prime Minister has his travails, does not have his troubles to seek. Labour not in the commanding position they were 2 years ago. The SNP have had problems as well, dealing with the fallout from Peter Murrell, the former chief executive of the party, admitting embezzling more than £400,000 from the SNP. Will any of that make a difference? Well, we'll find out perhaps in the early hours of the morning, but there are plenty of other issues that voters here were telling us they were concerned about: the cost of living, the cost of doing business, and here in Aberdeen especially, energy policy and the future of the North Sea oil and gas industry, and whether or not the transition from oil and gas to renewables is going well. Many people here say it's not, and should be speeded up or indeed slowed down. So plenty for the voters to think about.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. James Cook there. Back to you now, Chris Mason. In Wigan, and Chris, 3 by-elections, but it's the one in Makerfield that could potentially have these major consequences.
who run around for you.
Indeed so. All by-elections are important for their own sake in sending towards a parliament, but this one outsized in every sense, because 77,500 people in the Makerfield constituency are going to have a outsized role, frankly, in determining who our next Prime Minister is. If Andy Burnham wins in the next few hours, I can tell you that Labour figures, senior Labour figures, are pretty confident. They've been consistently confident over the last several weeks. They remain confident tonight. They think that the voters who had said that they would vote Labour have voted Labour. What they acknowledge is what they don't know is how successful Reform have been at getting out voters that perhaps none of the parties have data for, because it might be people who recently have not voted that Reform are managing to tempt. And then there is the role of Restore Britain, the party set up by Rupert Lowe, former Reform MP. How well do they do, and to what extent do they eat into Reform's vote? The reason I mention that is there will be a lot of analysis when we get the results. If Andy Burnham is the victor, by how much is he the victor? Does he win by more than the Reform and Restore vote combined, or is it narrower than that? This will matter in shaping the mood immediately afterwards. Yes, a win is a win, a loss is a loss, but the amount of momentum a victorious Andy Burnham, if he is victorious, would take to Westminster will at least to an extent be shaped by the margin of his victory. And then, when we get to tomorrow morning, all sorts of big questions begin, which we don't know the answers.
Always chat their nonsense, isn't they? Always chat their foolishness. Why don't you chat the truth? Until you have colonised everything you got stolen. Right? And your children are horrified with you now, your children coming up, slamming doors and cursing you and telling you where to, yeah, because it falls on them. Damn right it does. It falls on your poor children. Right? Your poor children it falls on.
People keep asking how do we actually get an AI agent on our team. Well, it's easy. Watch how I do it in 60 seconds.
There is something about the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the nation that has these haunting echoes. The world doesn't trust us. It's not Trump. The American people, put him in office twice.
Are the racists and the white supremacists today the same as those who fought to instill racism back then?
J.D. Vance on July 5th, 2025 invoked blood and soil as the basis of American identity. I think Joe Biden is an avatar for the baby boomers. They wouldn't get out of the way.
You're right, it's 250th year. America, USA, is in deep trouble, and I cannot say with certainty that the country will survive. What do you mean by that?
We're going to have to deal with 70+ million people who have voted for Donald Trump over 3 times. What we need to do, and you do this with Zateo, is tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
With love.
With love.
Lit by rage.
With love. That's asking too much.
If you live in the US, you may be conflicted about celebrating its semi-quincentennial anniversary. That's 250 years. On the one hand, it's natural to want to celebrate the country you call home, as do I. But on the other, you might not want the center of those celebrations to be Vanilla Ice dancing with Donald Trump on stage. This is not a unique feeling when it comes to this country's big anniversaries. In fact, from its founding to this day, every half-century celebration in the US has shrouded its divisions, its problems, and its struggles. My next guest wrote a book about those anniversaries and the truth behind their jubilee, which he says brought him to the brink of despair. America, USA, How Race Shadows the Nation's Anniversaries is the latest book from celebrated public intellectual Eddie Gord Jr. The distinguished Princeton University professor's book takes readers on a self-examination of this country's history that will change their perception of its 250th anniversary. And he joins me now to talk more about that self-examination. Eddie, good to see you. Long time, my friend.
Oh, it's wonderful to see you, and congratulations on everything. Zateo is just an amazing news source. I really, really appreciate you.
Thank you, that means a lot. And your book is an amazing resource as we hit this major anniversary. And interestingly, it looks at every 50-year anniversary in the US. It dives into the ways each of them contributed to instilling what you call Storybook America, and the attempt to reconcile this country as both being, but also its origins as a white republic. What made you, Eddie, want to examine this contentious history in this very different way?
Well, Manny, because we're experiencing so much today. You know, there is something about the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the nation that has these haunting echoes. That there are these repetitions. That Donald Trump is unique in a lot of ways, but he's also in so many ways deeply familiar. And I was trying to really come to terms with how did we arrive here at this moment with all of the efforts around ICE and immigration, with the Supreme Court gutting the Voting Rights Act and the assault on black voters and DEI and the like. So I wanted to say, you know, what happens in this moment when the country tells itself a story about its founding and its contradictions are in full view? And so, you know, I wanted to tell a 250-year history of the country without writing a book of the size of We the People by Jill Lepore. So I thought it would be best to just simply telescope it by looking at these ritual moments during the milestone anniversaries. And it just so happens that at each one of these periods, the country is exorcised by the vexations of race, by its contradictions. And so you get this story of haunting and repetition to help us understand our own moment.
And a lot of people might assume that your book was triggered by Donald Trump's return to office. But it's about a lot more than the racist sentiment of one man or one administration. I mean, I assume you would be writing this book regardless of whether Trump was in office or if we had our first black female president right now.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, think about it. In 1876, the centennial of the country, the first national ritual after the carnage of the Civil War, this storybook version of America simply disappears black folk. It ignores the reason for the Civil War that left 600 people, 600,000 men and women dead on land and on sea. And what you get is this kind of mythic illusion that America is, in fact, as Ronald Reagan would say, the shining city on the hill, while Custer is defeated, while violence is simply overwhelming the South with Colfax, Louisiana, Vicksburg, Mississippi, Hamburg, South Carolina. And so what I wanted to do was to kind of disrupt what I take to be this adolescent reach for a mythical America, right, that protects us from understanding our choices and the implications of those choices, Manny.
Liking this video? Then don't just watch, hit like, share and subscribe. And tap the bell so you never miss a video or live show. But if you want early access to exclusive content, then you have to head to Zeteo.com and subscribe now. You'll be supporting fearless, independent journalism. You talk about a white America frequently in your book, and the notion of freedom being the white man's possession to give or to take away. When you look at the resurgence of white supremacy, especially great replacement theory, the MAGA crowd calling for America to be great again, how do you feel the sentiment towards black Americans has changed over the past 250 years? Say, for example, going back to the 1850s, the Fugitive Slave Act, that's one period covered. My question is, are the racists and the white supremacists of today the same as those who fought to instill racism back then?
Well, I don't think they're the same. I think they bear family resemblance. You know, we want to be careful not to collapse different moments. At Princeton, that isn't, you know, Jim Crow. That isn't slavery. I'm pretty much well off, right? My son is an Ivy League graduate. That isn't Jim Crow. But what we do want to say, though, Mehdi, is that we still struggle with the idea that some people, because of the color of their skin, believe that freedom is their possession to give and to take away. So I should be grateful to them for my successes, you see? Yeah. And so because folk believe that freedom is their possession, they, in so many ways, reinscribe a racial hierarchy that gives more value to being a white person than to being a different person of color. And part of what I want to do is to challenge this, because that's at the heart of the contradiction. The country imagines itself at once as this beacon of freedom, as you say, the creedal notion of America, but then it turns around and imagines itself as a white republic. That's all we have to do is look at immigration law from the first Naturalization Act to today. And remember what J.D. Vance said on July 5th, creed is not enough for social cohesion, for sovereignty. J.D. Vance on July 5th, 2025, invoked blood and soil as the basis of American identity. Yes. And that, too, reveals the contradiction at the heart of the country.
J.D. Vance's wife is the daughter of Indian immigrants, I should always remind people. Trump's return to office has caused many in this country to, in your own words, retreat into the safety and comfort of older prejudices that have long simmered beneath our way of life and now boil over again. Should Donald Trump, Eddie, leave the White House in 2020, and I'm not sure he will, but let's say he does, where do these Trumpian forces, as you described them, where do they go? How do they get released? How do we get rid of them? I mean, this is way beyond one man.
This is the key question, Mehdi. I think it's important for us to understand that Donald Trump is an avatar for something much deeper. You know, we tend to have these moments where we exceptionalize a particular figure and we think that's all we need to do is to get rid of that person and everything will be well. That's a Hollywood approach. And we've never really removed the tumor that causes so much of the illness of American life. So we're going to have to deal with 70+ million people who have voted for Donald Trump over 3 times. And we're going to have to deal with them by way of policy. And we're going to have to deal with them by way of, how can I put this? Creating a society where racism has no quarter to breathe. That if you choose to live in that way, you are sanctioned. And this is not cancel culture. This is just simply reflecting the common good of the country. We're going to have to do something deliberate, right? To not just simply allow dog whistles to drive our politics, but actually change the center of moral gravity of the country if we're going to get out of this cycle.
You said something about, just a moment ago, about giving racism no quarter. It reminded me of a tweet I just saw today, which I responded to. Congressman Brandon Gill, one of the more far-right members of the Republican caucus. This is a quote that he tweeted out today. For years, Democrats have intimidated and silenced Republicans by calling us racist. That won't work anymore. And I just wonder, we have a Republican Party now that is leaning into the racism. Yeah. Racist, so what? What are you going to do about it? The word has no meaning. Where does that leave liberals and progressives if the decades spent quarantining, inoculating people, that's all gone?
Yeah, they're going to have to no longer triangulate. They're going to have to no longer think that all they have to do is to play to the middle. Try to avoid activating the racism of the right. Liberals are going to have to think of racial justice as something more than a philanthropic enterprise, something that they do for other people as opposed to a value that animates our way of life. We're going to have to name the devil that has the tree by the throat. Well, so if we don't name the devil that has us by the throat, we cannot get to the other side of this crisis, because it's a toxic combination of greed, selfishness, and hatred that's fundamentally choking the life out of American democracy right now. And if we're not honest and finally grow the hell up, this democracy is in deep peril.
When the sun rises over the sea and the waves dance in the morning light, let the sun.
ocean. Looking everywhere. Hard times in the city. In a hard town by the sea.
One vice and
Ain't nowhere to run to. There ain't nothing here for free. Look on the corner, waiting for a train. Drunk, lying on the sidewalk, sleeping in the rain. People hide their faces, and they hide their eyes. Cause the city is dying. And they don't know why. Eat up little Sheila, what a marble stand. Flying by the ocean, looking everywhere. Hard times in the city, in a hard town by the sea. Ain't nowhere to run to. There ain't nothing here for free. Look on the corner, waiting for a train. Drunk, lying on the sidewalk, sleeping in the rain. People hide their faces, and they hide their eyes. Cause the city is dying, and they don't know why. Get my sisters and me, and my little brother Ray. Five big old wagons to haul us all away. Live out in the country, where the mountains high. Never gonna come back here till the day I die.
more true today, especially after the release of this book of yours, is that it's easy for us to blame Trump for everything. And you said, quote, if we're going to get past this, we can't blame it on him. He's a manifestation of the ugliness that's in us. Do you think the Democratic Party understands that point?
Some days I do, other days I don't. But I do know the world understands it.
Yeah.
The world doesn't trust us. It's not Trump. The American people put him in office twice. The American people have jeopardized the global economy with this guy. And so I think it's really important for the Democratic Party, that's captured by in so many ways, man. We have to be honest. It's captured by corporate forces. And we know that there's this effort to kind of continuously appeal to what they consider to be the middle, the independents that determine our politics. And in light of those two sets of pressures, they are reluctant to really, in so many ways, push an agenda that can fundamentally transform the lives of working people. And until that happens,
Chinese nonsense. I mean, whatever sounds is Chinese nonsense. I mean, yeah, I'm trying. Stop it.
I'm telling you, most Americans, and by most Americans, I mean mostly so-called white Americans, they get upset. They get upset when they see my talks. They get all sorts of negative emotions when I talk about the dismantling of America, the decline of America, the collapse of the United States, and so forth, the downgrading, the demotion of America as a global power. They get sad. They get hopeless. They get depressed, or they get defensive, or they get despondent. And I understand why. I understand why, because it has historically been their system. They got enough benefit from that system to make them actually believe more deeply in the myths around that system. Because of course it was a myth. It's always been a myth. It's never been anything but a myth. But they believed in it. I'm telling you, most Americans, and by most Americans, I mean mostly so-called white Americans, they get upset. They get upset when they see my talks. They get all sorts of negative emotions when I talk about the dismantling of America, the decline of America, the collapse of the United States, and so forth, the downgrading, the demotion of America as a global power. They get sad. They get hopeless. They get depressed, or they get defensive, or they get despondent. And I understand why. I understand why, because it has historically been their system. They got enough benefit from that system to make them actually believe more deeply in the myths around that system. Because of course it was a myth. It's always been a myth. It's never been anything but a myth. But they believed in it. The truth is, they didn't enjoy benefits in that society because of democracy and freedom. They enjoyed benefits in that society because of mass murder. They enjoyed benefits in that society because of pillage, because of slavery and piracy and exploitation, and because of war and brutality. But they always thought that Uncle Sam was on their side, you see? They thought that they were the favorite nephew of their Uncle Sam. So when they see Uncle Sam, or when they hear me talk about Uncle Sam being amputated piece by piece, it grieves them. You understand me? So I understand why the erosion of America, or the erosion of the myth of America, I understand why that bothers them, and why they get all up in arms about it. I understand it. I understand why they get depressed. I understand why their feelings get hurt. There is no more indoctrinated people. There's no more brainwashed and no more psychologically and culturally misprogrammed people on the face of this earth than so-called white Americans. I've talked about that before. Like I say, the marauder mentality, the lack of development and so on, the lack of civilization and what have you. The overwhelming majority, the truth of the matter is, the overwhelming majority of them throughout history have only ever been serfs, and they're still serfs until today. And the truth of the matter is that they don't actually have a stake in that system either. They don't have a stake in the system either. The system doesn't care about them either. That's the fact. But to one extent or another, they have benefited from it, and more importantly, they identify with it. Right? When the United States sends someone to the moon, they'll say, we landed on the moon.
They believe it.
When the U.S. attacks another country, they'll say, we are at war. We are at war. When they talk about the American economy, they say, our economy, and so on. It's like a fan of a sports team or something. The fan of a sports team who imagines that he has some kind of a share in it anytime that team wins a game.
Exactly.
You see, they identify with the American project as their project. So when that project degrades, they identify that degradation with themselves. It's personal. They take it personally. There's a sense of loss. There's a sense of disappointment. There's a sense of panic. But like I said before, what's happening in America is the onshoring of previously offshore colonization and extraction. And that's going to be applied across the board to all demographics. The neoliberal economic programs that they used to use to plunder countries all across the global south are now being applied at home, and that's going to intensify. And no one is going to be spared.
That's right.
You need to know that. No one is going to be spared. No one is going to have, protected hands-off status, because this is not being done for the sake of America. It's being done for the sake of a national capital. It's being done for the sake of the a national owners and controllers of global financialized capital who have completely untethered themselves from any sort of nationalism. They've untethered themselves from any sort of patriotism or any sense of investment in the old obsolete priorities of the American power structure. Well, who depended on that power structure all this time? What demographic depended on the power structure? Which one relied on the backing of that power structure all this time? Who's been the priority? What demographic group has been the priority of the power structure all this time? Who's always actually had the real protected, the real privileged status in that society? That's going away. Look, when I go through my comment section, who do you think I see? Who do you think I see most often talking about I have to get out of this country? I'm planning on moving out of this country. Who do you think is melting down? Who do you see having meltdowns on social media, in public, screaming at their phone camera, crying at their phone camera, yelling, weeping, begging for someone to come, for anyone to come and save them? Begging for someone to come and fix things, to lead them, to rescue them. Well, you obviously know who it is. You know which people are doing that. It's the same people who never built anything for themselves. It's the same people who never had to build anything for themselves. I'm not saying this as a put down. Understand, I'm not saying this as a put down. It's just another data point. This is what I'm telling you. It's another data point. I'm saying that the way that that country is going, the direction that that country is going, the skill set of the oppressed is going to have a massive advantage over the skill set of the privileged. And like I say, again, this is when you see that hunter-gatherer mentality, that marauder mentality. I have to get out of this country, you see? Let me get my passport and go somewhere else. If I'm not going to get my privileges, if I'm not going to get my comfort, if I'm not going to have my convenience catered to, then let me get out of here. Let me go elsewhere. Greener pastures, you understand? Scavengers. There's no patriotism. There's no nationalism. There's privilegism. There's get-mineism. They'll drop that country. They'll drop that country the same way that their elites are dropping that country. You know, I mentioned before that JFK quote. I've talked about it a few times. Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Well, when he said country, he didn't mean you. He didn't mean African Americans. He didn't mean Latino Americans. He didn't mean Arabs, Arab Americans or Asian Americans or Muslim Americans or anybody else. Country here refers to one specific demographic. Right. Means ask not what white people can do for you, ask what you can do for white people. Yes, that's what it meant. That's what it means. Like I said, they identify with the country and they identify the country with them. And that's the only reason why they identify with the country. That's the only reason why they actually identify with the country, because the country has always meant them. So the minute it does not mean them, they're booking their flights out.
Oh dear.
They're booking their flights out of there. I told you they don't believe in anything. Listen to me. They believe in a full belly. That's what they believe in. They believe in what a wolf believes in. I'm not being racist. I'm not trying to generalize about white people. I'm not saying that they're genetically predisposed to that or something. I'm saying that their culture has let them down as human beings. Their culture, their system has betrayed them. It has betrayed them by never cultivating them, by never civilizing them properly, by teaching them that cheating and they're stealing and pillaging and appropriating and exploiting, by teaching them that violence and colonization and so on, that all of these things are viable, sustainable, acceptable pursuits.
bizarre anti-diabetes trick used before bed is making diabetics wake up with normal blood sugar. If you try this and your blood sugar doesn't drop at least 70 points within...
And that they don't inevitably lead to where they have led, to the situation that they're in now. They were lied to, and they believed it. They were lied to. They believed that they were told that skin color is a metric of value. Skin color is a metric of superiority or inferiority. They were taught that what you do has no consequences. You understand? They were taught that predation and plunder are actually successful, sustainable life strategies. And of course this goes back to Europe. This goes back to Europe and their whole culture. I mean, until today, you all talk about your so-called enlightenment. Enlightenment. The era in which you fully developed your absolutely most grotesque concepts of your so-called Western civilization. Literally the period when you came up with all of the theories and all of the philosophies and all of the models that fueled and that justified all of the crimes that you were committing at that time and all of your future crimes. White supremacy, racism, colonialism, imperialism, genocide, chattel slavery, wage slavery. The idea that the human being is nothing but an input for business, nothing but a resource for extraction, materialism, relativism, atheism, on and on. You call that enlightenment. You call that enlightenment until today. You brag about it. You're proud of it. When that whole period, all of the intellectual output of that period was just to manufacture rationales for being savage, for being brutal, and for being ruthless. All of those inhuman traits and all those inhuman behaviors sound intellectual and sophisticated. Well, how did you think that was going to end? How did you think that was going to end? Where did you think that was heading? Wallahi, any Muslim who had read the Quran could have told you that your project was doomed from the outstart. You never did anything in your history but purchase the consequences that you're facing today. And worse is forthcoming. The point is that they are unprepared. That particular demographic is unprepared for what is coming to that country. They have no coping skills. They have no community. They barely even have families, you know. When you have enjoyed unearned privilege, when you've enjoyed unearned authority, well, what do you think happens when the time comes when you have to actually earn it? You have to, but you never actually learned the requisite skills. The discipline, the work ethic, the wisdom, the sacrifice, and so on. Well, it's very easy to predict how that's going to turn out. It's very easy to predict how that's going to go. I said the tables are turning. The tables are turning. Or more accurately, we're entering the consequences phase. I know I've talked about this before, but look at the birth rate. SubhanAllah. You cannot tell me that this is not a divine a manifestation of divine justice in and of itself. Imagine a people, a whole people, a nation, committing self-genocide, self-extinction by their own logic. Think about it. They're dying out. They're dying out as a direct result of the way they think about life. Their philosophies, their theories, their paradigms, their enlightenment. Their enlightenment built a system, an economic model, an approach to the economy, built an approach to life that makes them not want to reproduce. Or else makes it, they don't want to reproduce, or they can't reproduce because it's too expensive. Their way of thinking is causing them to go extinct. Their way of thinking is causing them to go extinct. But they still think it's the right way to think. They still think it's enlightened, even while it is erasing them. Look at this madness. Tell me that's not a curse that they brought upon themselves. Tell me that's not divine justice in action. I told you, flawed input, flawed outcome. You adopted a doctrine of predation and destruction, and that doctrine is devouring you out of existence. And you still won't give it up. I'm telling you that what's happening in America right now was always... We just happen to live in the generation to experience it. We just happen to live in the time when the prayers of hundreds of millions of America's victims are being answered. And if that doesn't please you, if that doesn't make you happy, then that can only be because you are someone who is on the wrong side of those prayers. Because this is justice. It happens. This idea that I'm either on this side or on that side, aligned with this one or aligned with that one. I remember seeing a tweet one time from a socialist who was warning all of his comrades about me, saying this man is not our ally, which is true. Of course, it's true. But he had to say that to the socialists because, or the leftists or what have you. They will listen to a portion of what I say or some of the positions that I articulate, and they'll automatically think that I'm an ally of the socialists or an ally of the leftists or, again, whatever faction you're talking about. This is what happens. So he wanted to warn them that no, other things you won't like, so don't think that he's your ally. He's not on our dogma.
We're different children, right? We are different children. We're from that era, right? Jesus said that we're from that era. You know what's that? What does Revelation 8 say? What does it say? Whoa!
You're bringing in that spirit. So God, we're gonna get some rest. Let's sign the fair one. Yeah, just another song.
My baby don't care. Cars and relationships. Baby don't care for. He don't care for high tone places or real estate. He's not the star. And even leave a rock smile. Something he can see. It's something he can see. I wanna to roll with the
Not Lord, your God. It's Yahuwah, your Elohim. That's where you stole Lord, your God from. Because it's Yahuwah, your Elohim. Every time you see it in the book, guys, it's always, excuse me, sorry. It's always Yahuwah, your Elohim. Always. So he copies it, says, Lord, your God. Anytime you see that, Lord, your God, always. So that's their Lord, which is Baal, remember? In Hebrew, Lord means Baal. And God means multiple of their God. You see how tricky they are? So when they're saying Lord, your God in there, you're thinking you're talking about whoever. But really you're talking about Baal, and you're talking about whichever God they fancied to call at that time. You see how tricky that thing is done? When you want to come in fact now, a Kodesh book, which is a Hebrew book, you're not talking about Hebrews in there at all. You're just making up some stuff and people don't even question it. Well, where are these things that you're making up? They're not even in the book. I mean, you even rewrote the book. You just changed his name to Jesus. That's not his name. He's not going to answer you to that name. This is lazy research done. Absolutely lazy. Yeah, because you don't know the name. That means, all right, I'm going to settle for the name. No, it's not done. It's just lazy research. You stay there calling that name when nothing will happen to you at all. Not one thing. But it's lazy research and it's an insult. Right, the whole world knows what name he is. Even European countries praise a black Madonna. Poland, old type Poland. The Polish, right? And the Italians as well. There's one or two countries who've been doing it before all this nonsense. I'm trying to keep this white afloat. You haven't been around long enough, done. But in 400 years you come around, since Father gave you us. And you start to see quality. You didn't even try to imitate the quality. That's what you could kill it all with Satan telling you rubbish in your ears. And then now you're unstuck. And you didn't tell your children who you were. And now your children's doing their own research and finding out who you are. And they're horrified to know that they're the children that come out of that. And then they're the ones who get punished. But they're not stupid, because what they're doing, they're repenting your nonsense then. That's what they're doing. That is what they're doing. And saving themselves from a beating. That's what they're doing, and Father would accept them all day for doing that. All day. All day. Because that is the dance. I'm trying to hide it with all your material nonsense, which you've stolen as well. Yes, bro. It's not like the materials are yours. You stole the materials just to cover up your nonsense of who you really are. So Father has to come take the materials away from you now and bring you back to Victorian slums. Because he does these things to you so you can learn from them. He gives us long suffering so we know what it's like. So when you see other people in long suffering, you don't make sure they suffer. You help them. Why? Because you've done long suffering. You know about it very well. And you didn't like it. Right? So when you see people long suffering, you understand it because you've been there. But you seem to use that to make money out of it. These priests, I don't know what to call them, man. They're an absolute joke, and I just don't think they understand what they're doing because they're just going with the flow and energy of it. But you don't understand what you're doing now, and they're showing you what happened to Rory and his grandson. And none of them could fix him, not one of them. All the king's horses and all the king's men could not, right, fix when Father tried to cock a basket put him, right? In England some say cocoa basket, but whatever you want to call it, when Father draws that, right, none of their doctors can fix it now. None of them. And it's severe as well. It's severe. It's not like, you know, like it's severe. And that's what happens to you, Rory, when they tell people that they mustn't, if they read the Torah, they'll be put to death. Now, who's the one who's been put to death? And he made sure he hit your grandson as well, right? Because when it comes to the iniquity of your behavior, it hits you, right? And it hits the grandson. It wasn't your son, it was the grandson. And it's written that way. The Rory. And then you got the next one there called Anthony Phillips, that one there. That one is that's the prime boy, that one there. Anthony Matthew Phillips, Anthony Marshall, Anthony Phillips Marshall, some name like that, some barley tramp, but that is their prime boy, that one there, because he's so passionate. He's a devil, Dan. He's an absolute devil. He's a devil, right? And it would tell you he learned all that from who? Esau. He was broken. And he went to Egypt and they fixed him. And he's still telling you that Egypt. Sorry, he went to Israel. I do apologize. Went to Israel. And he's still telling you that Israel children are our father's children. And he's a brown child himself. And he's swearing by that. These are the children. And we must bless them. Yeah, because he was broken. And they fixed him. And they put him on that pedestal where he is. And just because he talks with passion, doesn't mean that, he's the child. Doesn't mean he's a child at all. And the questions you need to be asking these people is just simplify it. Do you like Jesus? That's all you need to ask them. That's all you need to ask them. Do you like Jesus? And from that answer there, then you'll know what time it is. That's all you need to ask modern Israel. And then you ask Christians. And Christians will say we like Jesus. And this one will say we hate him, but they're both best friends. And the Christians are sticking up for them when they tell you to put poo on it. And the Christians put poo on him as well. Because they wouldn't be in that Christian religion if they didn't put poo on him. Because they run that religion. They run everything, man. 2 nations. Modern Israel, well, once did. Everything. That one country there. Yeah, because it's Esau. That's why. That's who it is. It's not just one country. They control everything then. And Father allowed it to. But their dance is finished now. And yours as well, Iran. Yours especially, because you was worse than America. And your name is Elam, not Iran, Elam. And Father's coming to murder you. You was worse than America, worse than. Right, and that what you got there doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the children of Yasharel. Right, it's Middle East, right there. When Father gave the land, they gave us the middle, a blended of heat and a blended of cold. There, the middle. And you carved it up and changed it up. That's where all the oil and everything is. Yeah, it's the children, it's not yours. The Father's coming for it and coming to smash you up as well. And it's getting all the Turk boys, the Ottoman boys to get involved in that war as well. He knows exactly what he's doing. And the last one to be standing at you sons, right, will be Esau. Because he's going to get Esau to do all the killing. And then after Esau's done all the killing, then he'll kill Esau. And to kill you means to put you in the lake of fire. Because you're not going to die, you're going to live in there forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Wait, and ever and ever and ever and forever. Wait, and forever and forever and forever. Wait, and eternal and eternal. And what on? It never stops. It never stops. It just never stops. It just does not stop. Burning. That's why it's called a lake of fire. No, that's a prison, not the prison. Right? Not that. That's hell. Not that. Right? That's not what you're going to call that. Not that. The lake of the fire, that's your home. You stay there. So really, was it really worth doing all this? And remember, like 1 day is 1,000 years. And 1,000 years is 1 day. So technically speaking, the flesh, the damn flesh, it doesn't even last a day. Alright, it doesn't even last half a day. Because technically, half a day is what? 500 years. Half of it. If 1 day is 1,000. And the flesh don't even live that long. So you've done all this, but not even half a day worth of war. I didn't even give you a whole day. Not even for a whole day, this thing. And time works by the sun. and the moon. Nothing else, not clocks. Nothing else done. Nothing else. And there is 13 months, not 12. For the system. We have no idea what they've done, guys. No idea. No idea. They've stolen humanity from the earth and the people. Stolen them. So the earth won't show it to us. You know, this earth is so beautiful, guys. I mean, it's stuff that this earth will do to us. Beautiful stuff. I mean, and the smell of it. The trees and the smell of the earth. Ah, true. This is why you need to read these books from Adam. Because when Adam got taken out from the earth, right, and he got put in the cave, you get to hear all these things that he's pining for. But they took that book out, so you don't know that he's still alive. That's not, he's still in the cave. Bible says, when, right, the word is finished, I will release you. And that will be 5.5 days. So when 5.5 days was finished, him and Halawa, they was well excited. When I'm calling the kid, they said, Father, we have learned our lesson. Then they started getting some speech. He said, wait, children, wait, please. 5.5. They said, yes, Father, we learned our lesson. He said, wait, children, please, wait. 5.5 days. He's not complete. They said, it is fine. Wait. So they start getting vexed. No, because he's so bad out to raise his voice. Children, the 5.5 days is this. It is 5,500 years, right? When the 5,500 years is complete, then the world will be complete and I will release you then. They started crying. And then went back into the cave. And to this day they're still there because the world's not finished yet. They're not telling us these things. If we knew these things, we'd walk a lot different. And remember, you know, guys, here, one, right? Come on, you got wrong, you know. One, right? He didn't blow up no one, yeah, or bomb up no one, or have sex with an animal, or change his sex. He just ate something that he wasn't supposed to eat. And look what, he's still suffering from that. So imagine us, can you imagine? Oh man, please. And because of that damn Adam, right, we are born in sin. Because Father got heart, right? And he just disconnected himself from man. Because what you need to realize, right, the sons are the apple of his eye. You got to realize that, and he wants them a certain way. So when Adam, yeah, did that, it get better, right? Because he's thinking, let me go and make my man have a nice sister next to him, kind of look lonely, but he look like his sister causes damage done, right? Because from him see the hidden treats done, his head just went sideways, and Father said that to him as well in the book. You hear me now? From him see the hidden treats, he turned sideways done, right? And we are still suffering from that till this day, because Father disconnected himself from man, disconnected himself from it. So they had a proper connection, like you could feel it now. But Father disconnected himself from it and said that you will live by bread alone, meaning, right? I'd like to go and find out what does that really mean? Because I understand the woman one, but what does it mean that man will only live by bread alone? Meaning, before, right, the food was just there, guys, for him. Everything was there. You know, no thinking about it. But now, you have to live by bread. You will not live by bread alone, which means you have to go and look for food now. Because before he didn't have to, and that's what that means. Until what, 5,500 years. And then he can come out the cave. But he's alright now, he's used to it now. He's used to it. He's used to the going without, the long suffering. He's used to it now. But that is the real dance, man. Not this pretend nonsense and foolishness and just ridiculous, just nastiness, just nasty, just filth. There's a broad road, right, leading to nowhere, right? But you need the narrow road. It may be difficult now, but there's a light at the end of it now. That broad road, man, is just going to get you killed. And the amount of dogs that are in there as well. You don't want to be around these dogs, man. Because once you're around there and they got money and you ain't, and you're trying to chase what they are, they think they got the right to come and disrespect you because they got materials. And then when you do find the strength to lead them, they want to kill you. They want to kill you. And you got kids to them as well, because he's an idiot. He's an idiot. That's what he is. And they use his materials and all that, and that stupid system to make you feel like he's something. and all that racist, rare. But you're going to stand on your own with that. You're going to look so pathetically stupid like you are. Just an idiot. Just an absolute jackass. Right? Because that system ain't protecting it. It's a system that turned you into that, gave you a few scraps. Right? Now look at you. The system's left you on your own. You just look ridiculous like you really are. You may be telling me that you're going to allow a system to make you come and change and do horrible stuff to people just because the system told you. And a little stupid hierarchy of people who are only strong when they have a system with them, right, that tells them and eggs them on. But when they stand on their own in their glass houses, they're just waiting for rocks to come and lick it out. With no mannerism. You know what I mean? When I think you're better than elder people. I mean, really? You let yourself go, England. You let yourself go, man. You let yourself go. Especially with these foreigners here as well now. They got different mannerism now. Complete different mannerism. You let Israel come and ruin your British way, man. That's what you done, guys. You let Israel come and ruin your British way. Trust me. I know, I tell you, when your daughters are 3 years and 1 day, it can do whatever it wants to it and nothing happens to you. And all that nonsense done. I mean, how dare you? Where'd you get off from? You're so bold that you can write stuff like that. And nothing happens to you. Rasta. It's a joke, then. They make kids see you, they're gonna hate you forever for that, especially when you get older as well. overseas. Baby. Oh, yeah, from overseas. Yeah, look, that was a nice video. I'm gonna post it now. It was a nice video done. I like the way your name's written there, so. It's a nice video. It was just really lovely for the children. And you know, they're really ones who are getting to know you. They don't know what they do. That's good. Just carry on just doing what you do. Just carry on doing what you do. Being good. And talking to them. Like you see me, you see what I do. Just do it like that. Talk to people. Right. And they're not looking for perfect guys. They're looking for weaklings. Like all men. Like myself. I told you where to find her. Romans, no, I do apologize. Hebrew, 7:28, the time, 7:28. One line as well. High priest, looking for weak men to be high priest. To you and you speak like a child. He come to me once before he's ultimate. I still don't even know how that happened. I have no idea how that happened at all. That is definitely an interference with the system. Definitely. Because my mum's looking to know that. My mum used to walk around in her shoes. These 70s platform shit. Weird. You know. You stay there. My mum wasn't into none of that stuff at all. I have no idea. I need to ask my mum. Because yes, and Sonia. I don't get to the church. She says, son, I have no idea neither. I say, I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that. Satan. That's what that was, mum. I have no idea. They just walked me into that. It happens. Just walked you into it now. Well, how else? None of the other children was just audible, was they? And in plenty of time, you know, it look to the left, no, look to the right, then doing it. No, you took plenty of time out here, because weird, he priest. Yeah. He wasn't a high priest, was he? No, sorry, he wasn't even a real priest. No, he wasn't that. Right, he didn't get no training from the None of them did. None of them. Didn't raise none of them up. None of them. None of them at all. I mean, I'm circumcised. I'm not coming through you. Are you firstborn? No, man. You got the birthright now. That's when they come through you. That's what it says, miss. That's what it says. I had no one any response to me about it. I've just seen it written. I said, wow. That's how they come through. You like this one? First smell is mine. Oh, yeah. That one is there as well. First smell. Take it. That's the sisters, isn't it? Take it. That's what we really. You know what he's doing? I know. He's claiming. First smell, mine. My sons, they're going to eat. So first livestock now, also no blemish, nothing, mine. And none of us have got butchers, I know. Barber, that's one thing. We're still going to be before we go to the fountain, so before we go to the mountain and all that. If we are, then I won't mind getting the butchers. I really won't mind. Because we ain't got the butchers. Everyone's got butchers. The Asians, all them have got butchers, but we ain't got no butchers. You know, it'd be nice to get butchers to show people how to do it. That's why it's not eating with the fancy. No, sir. Whatever I do, butchers make you today, I'll take that. This is your Allah. I used to say, all right, we're pissed. It's an absolutely destroyed. I would take it out. I said, okay, I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean. Because I stopped eating dinner. I stopped eating meat before. You're damn right. You don't know what they're doing to it, man. You're not wrong. You don't treat these women like lamb. No, you don't. You don't treat women like lamb at all. You Muslim boy. No, you don't, man. No, you don't. So, I know, what can I say this? What can I say? Hey. Hope everyone's doing alright, guys. Hope everyone's doing alright. Dedication to grandma and grandpa. You see, you're getting plenty mention now, right? Because how can you have a dance, right, without the emperor and the empress? How can you have a family without a grandma and a grandpa? It's just ridiculousness. It's absolute foolishness. Satan, you and your damn children. You was the same when you was up there. You thought you could run it, right, without your father, you stupid idiot. Now look at it. Now look at it. And it's just the same with you and your children. It's the same behaviour. But what we're seeing is coming back. You're damn right it is. We'll move on by. Right? When you see them, you should see knowledge. You should be going up to them. You know what I mean, done? And making a fuss over them. You're damn right you should be. Like the Chinese do. Not the Chinese, the Japanese. And I love them.
Good night, Johnny.
Good night, Papa. See you tomorrow, yeah?
See you tomorrow.
Alright, you alright?
I'm alright.
Yeah, you ready for it, yeah? You ready for it, yeah?
Sorry?
You ready for it, yeah?
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
I think tomorrow, yeah. Cool. Good night, bro. He's got a nice smile on his face. Nice smile, see it. Yeah, he's happy, I see it, buddy. He's got a nice smile on his face. Yeah, growing as well. Yeah, he's very good. You can see it. You can see it. The nature's in good spirit now. I know. Such a nice guy, bro. And he's a master of so many beautiful things as well. I know. Your grace, it works. Your grace. And the people as well. I know the King's Jumps as well. There's nearly 2,500 people, bro. I know you beautiful children. I cannot believe it, though. You beautiful children, though. I know. And you, Father. So we made a nice video for you now. I'm going to post this one now. We got a nice one for you, Father. A real nice one. I'm proud of this one that I done today. I'm going to post it now. I'm going to post it now. Your name. And where you put my name in it as well. And to show someone if they're born on the 5th of November, it's the same as the 11th of May. Deuteronomy 5:11, same. Any child that's born on November the 5th. You get that bonfire nonsense, get that out of your head. It's just a normal day if you're not born on that day. If you are born on that day, it's not a normal day. It's a day for you to see Father's calling you. It says, I've given you my name. Right? And if you do anything, do not bring it to naught. Your one doesn't say naught. My one says naught. So your dad said, I've given you my name. And if you've seen that, then just sit down and read your book and start getting serious, and they'll come into you. And say, well, it's done if they ever come into you already. Right? Well, this is only Hebrew sons. Not talking to you. No other son is just coming into you like this. No, it isn't at all. I have no idea how you're going to circumcise your boy if he's not circumcised. No idea. No idea at all. You know how I got mine done? I had to get caught in a zip and all that nonsense. And if I went to put a spell on them to do it. Damn right done. Because I know the power of this thing now. And I already done a documentary about the circumcision. Is there any advantage of having circumcision? And he said, much, very much. And then explained, I did that documentary already. This circumcision. So you don't need to listen to them sons and my sons. Because they studied about us. They're not going to tell you nothing about it. And this is why they're so infatuated with us and put cameras in your house. What do you think Father's going to do? Put some spell so you can watch us. They're not going to do anything when you're watching, you idiot. And he knows where all your cameras and all that. He just doesn't make me see them. Until he's ready to show me, idiot. And you get exposed everywhere, all over the world. They're exposing you and what you do. All over the world. What you do, the advantage that you got over these brown sons, and you're still messing up. Yeah, because we've got Father with us. Anyone else would have been finished. Just go around pillaging trying to kill the whole earth up and bring that white nonsense there, which the sun wipes out. Right? Oh yeah. What about this one? You don't even multiply sexually at all. You're dying out, man. This is why you're trying to join yourself up with other races. Why? Because they're the same colour as you. You're dying out, bro. Dying out. Anytime the sun comes out, you die. And the sun's coming out tomorrow. And lots of you will die tomorrow, just for the sun. Because you stole the sun's day with that Christianity nonsense. You stole the sun's day. So you can't expect the sun to be nice to that complexion at all. You'll be stupid to believe that. Absolutely ridiculously foolish. This is the earth. It's the earth's earth. It's theirs. And you want to come and change it and start worshipping Satan's nonsense on the sun's day and expect the sun to be nice to you. I mean, you white people, no disrespect, you really got to be stupid though. You really got to be, man. You really got to be. Because you're just disconnected, man, from truth, you know, from the earth and what the earth can do, and the situation you're falling into, and you still can't see it, man. Still think he's done a chance with taking people to court and, you know, playing Not Down Ginger. Oh, there's another one. Playing Not Down Ginger the other day. Still playing Not Down Ginger, guys. These stupid idiots. Still playing Not Down Ginger. These wicked, wicked. They never had something no better before to do in their whole life. Just when I come in, the spirits will tell them, right, come and get them. Even like your Joanna, the junkie girl. And in the end, she had to end up crying with an apology. Couldn't say, because they would have killed her when she knew the place was Cameron. But she hugged me and started crying and apologised for being horrible back then. Wanted to say more, but she couldn't. Because I wasn't horrible to her. I was just so nice to her still. She couldn't believe it. And then she realised that she was being used, but she couldn't say it. All she could do was cry and apologise. But I knew what she meant. I knew exactly what she meant. I know exactly what she meant. Because I don't smoke them things no more. And when you see the real me, you're like, whoa. Even offering me sex as well. Saying, oh, do you want a blowjob? And I said, no, darling. No, I'm alright. I'm okay. See how it's different now, Father. You're damn right. Now it's completely different now. But like he says, Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 11. I'm giving you my name. Do not drag my name to naught or zero. I will not hold you guiltless. And that is not a joke. So even if I wanted to do anything foolish, the fear of Father is more fearful than anything else. And I'm so serious, guys. I am absolutely petrified to do anything wrong. I really am. Because the man's giving me his name, that's why. I haven't put it on my birthday, and that is the stuff I'm just printing out now. But anyone who's born on the 5th of November, you as well, so you're in the same problem as me. Right. Yeah, it's real though, guys, and once we know now, you know, they'll help us walk with it. It's nothing to be frightened of, it's beautiful, it's beautiful, absolutely. Right, and once you start walking in it, you'll see this is what you're meant to do. Because every Hebrew walks like this and talks like this, and every Hebrew's got their own style of Hebrew. Everyone has put it in all of us. But what Satan seems to do is grab you and then commercialize you and bring you into that nonsense. That's what he does quickly. Done it to Michael Jackson, done it to Dennis Brown. Tried to do it to me. But I got different cover on me. Not saying the others haven't, but it looks like they just went straight into that system. They didn't have a protection like what these child's got. But yeah, they do come from still, like Altar Boy and all that. But where he went wrong is the confession book, because I used to like going in there. And then Father got hot and said, you're mad, you can't go in there, man. That is a blasphemy now. So that Trump weird. And then brought me to sound system in it, the front line as a child with Hebrew boys. Excuse me. Yeah, it shows you the journey, man. It shows you the journey. It shows it to you, then. And it's not a joke, it's real. And I pity many sons, guys, many sons. I pity many. Because when it gets hot, you have to go out the way, man, you do. You do. Because it's frightening, man. It's frightening. It's frightening still. Not to the children here. Not to the children. Yeah. He's never been horrible to me, not once. Not once. Not once. Not once. It's like grandma. Not once. I ain't even had a look. You know the look? I ain't even had the look. The grandma look. I haven't even had that. From father. I swear. But I know it's in the locker. You damn right it's in there. You're still there. You damn right it's in there. I'm a good boy now. You damn right, bro. And many of the children have let him down. I mean, he even has to go and borrow other people's children to make us jealous, which is embarrassing. It really is. That was just the wrong generation, Father. That was all. That was just the wrong generation. That was all. That's nothing to do with your power and your greatness. Nothing at all. They were just stiff-necked fools. That's all. So don't you start looking at that Satan and start thinking that Father ain't loved and all that idiot nonsense. That was just a stupid idiot set of children that are still around now. Their children's children are still around now. They're idiots. Join Prince Hall Masonry and all that. When Father told you that I will make you a prince, just wait. And you couldn't wait. So you're going to let Father down and go and join that. You damn tramp. So you see how he puts his name on it? Not Misha'el Riviere. Not Prince Hall Masonry. You damn tramp. These names are important though. These names are important. We ain't got no Hebrew name. And that Riviere Booger Wagger name, that don't go nowhere. That's not my name. I still got my first name, remember. Because Father says the first male is mine. So you do expect to have your first Hebrew name from Father saying first male is mine. And that's how powerful Father is. If you really understand him and how he works. Which we don't, but we're learning. And you're trying to turn him up and turn us away from Father, which is just ridiculous. I mean, the man's in the ear all the time, bro. All the time. Damn fool. I don't think I need. I just walk into it, it's there. You have no idea the stuff that he does. Gets you off my back every time we go to court and tells me what's going to happen when I go to the court. And it happens. Wow. Good. So he says, tell the world about it. Tell the beautiful world, because it's not just there for me, it's for everybody. It's there for everyone. So remember that, guys. It's not just there for one person, it's for everyone. It's not just there for one complexion. He's just got a certain amount of children that he relies on to wake up everyone else. That's all. That's all. We're all the same children. Just some he's just put a little bit more in others to help him out. Otherwise, this thing cannot work. If the children don't do their bit, it cannot work. And our bit is to get used now. That's what it is. Yes, we can multiply, but so can you. And you've been on this journey with us. We've all been on it together. We've all been lied to. We've all had fights with each other. We've done everything against each other. Now let's try and work with each other. That's the children, so we can show the parents. And even they'll get involved. And then it just works, mate. It all clicks in because humanity is what we do best. Because we're humans. We've just been disconnected from it. It can't go. All it can do is be suppressed. You can't take it out. It's in you. All they can do is suppress it. And children are not so far gone. That computer thing is mashing them up. And this thing here is mashing them up. There's no rules on it. It's just like Wild West times 100. You can imagine that. So we need people to start showing children humanity and just being silly and being yourself. Because children are great imitators, so we need to give them something to imitate. Again, excuse me. Children are great imitators, so we need to give them something to imitate. And all this thing about shut up mum and F up that, you need to grow up here, you need to put your big girl panties on that, and you need to put your big long johns on that. Right? These are children though. Right? I need to discipline your children, and it says that in the book. You cannot be a parent if you don't discipline your child. The government doesn't raise your children. They're going to tell you not to discipline your child. Of course they're going to tell you. They want you to raise unruly people. I mean, look at the state of these government. What do they know about anything? You need to ask them questions about raising up children. I mean, like proper ask them. When they're not answered, ask them and ask them again and ask them a different one to go with it. until he gets the message, because this is what we're talking about. You damn tramp. When they come with your little commercial lines and all that. That doesn't feed children. That doesn't help children, you damn tramp. We're fed up with your guys in suits, right, who have the answers to nothing. To stuff that they just made up. If you ask a question, we've got an answer for that one. Answer a question, we've got no. No, man, move like the way you damn idiot. Move. I'd take you more seriously if you was to dress up and colour coordinate in normal clothes. Right? Instead of just wearing that damn suit. The only thing that's missing from that, right, is the whip and the hat. Right? What your father or your grandfather used to wear, you damn tramp. Rasta. the greatest thing in this whole enlightenment is truth. Now there is no other universe, right, that you would ever thought all this truth was being revealed. How? Tell me how. How would you thought that? Is it possible? Of course it is. Tell me right it is. What you got to do, right, is trace the Hebrews and you see the whole world. I know. It's true. It's true. It's trueness. It's true. That's what you got to do. Trace the Hebrews and you see the whole world. It's trueness. It's true. Right. It's true. They really hate the Hebrews, innit, miss? They hate them like I thought surprising, innit, miss? Man, I tell you, weird, sir. They hate the Hebrews like I thought surprising. There is a miss. Right? Let me take the Bible up and it says Psalms 83 verse 3, right? And it says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. Who? That the name of Yeshua, who is biblical Israel, may no more be in remembrance. Who says that? The Esau. I have hated, I have laid waste his hill country and left his inheritance to the jackals of the desert. Malachi chapter 1 verse 2. So he said, why? Let me just enjoy myself on earth while I can, quickly. And just take everybody's inheritance. And just say it's mine. And just enjoy myself there because I know I'm going to die. Now that's better. Now you're talking the truth. But yes, now you're talking truth. Right? You know, pogrom. You forgot about those days. Because don't forget to know, it's pogrom, right, that brought you in the Caucasus Mountain, right? And when you had to settle in there, because the whole world turned against you, they was writing treaties. Anytime you see any of them smell bags, you can do whatever you want. Take them for target practice, take them for whatever you want. So they had to hide in the Caucasus Mountain. They was in there for a hot minute, right? And I guess it was mixed as well. They wanted what they call Edom, right? Esau, Edom. When he realized he couldn't get his inheritance. So what did he do? He broke the golden rule, which was not to harm the earth or to go from pillar to post and take your penis out and start infecting people, right? So he went from pillar to post and then he went to the Caucasus Mountain. And then when he went to the Caucasus Mountain, who did he see? He saw the pogrom crew, which were, at that time, the Ashkenazis, the Russians. So, when you put 2 and 2 together, right, which is the Ashkenazis and Esau, then you get modern Israel. And then they came out. Both vexed. Both of them are vexed, right? Both got an assault to do on the world. Because one thinks he got his heritage stolen, and the other is the downtrodden. And got chucked in the Caucasus Mountain by the world. So it's against the world. Now what you gonna say to you for these pogroms? That's what you gonna say. Pogroms. Pogroms. One word. And it will tell you about what happened to modern Israel, how the whole world turned against them. And they ran in the Caucasus Mountain. And Esau went in there as well because he wanted to take it out on everyone. Everyone they see wanted to infect. So he could break the line of his own family because he didn't get the birthright. This is how wicked this son is. This is why Father says, I hate him. Esau I have hated. And this is why he hates him. And he saw his children get beat up. Because when we take the Bible and we go to Obadiah, one line, sorry, I do apologize, one page. It's not even half a paragraph. Just reminding Esau and the rest of the sons what you did and how I'm going to murder you. Just quickly, just brief reminder. Obadiah. It's in the Bible. Right? Because when we was hiding, he told the Romans, no, come, look, they're there. Shush, look, they're there. Look. That's what Esau did. And that's what that is, Obadiah. That's what that means there in the Bible. That's what that is. Right? I try to treat the people that tell about Christianity and tell about Jesus is there. Not even the beginning of the book, you got the first 5 books for the grandson, right? You tell them all about Jesus. And Jesus come who? For the grandson and the grandchildren. That's what Jesus come for. But you bypass all that and you go straight to this piece here, but you still get money from it as well. Until they're called tithings, right? It's for vulnerable women, for widows, for disabled, crippled, whenever they might need help. They come to the church, they've got the tithings and they use that. But you've used that to say 10% of that you give to the church, which is you, and then you get Father to bless. That is just blasphemy. And I can't believe people are doing it. And now we're hearing the church killed 200,000 women's babies because they was born out of wedlock and now want to apologize. 200,000 babies. The Catholic Church, the same one that changed Father's Sabbath day from a Saturday to a Sunday. We, the Catholic Church, changed it from a Saturday to the Sunday, straight from the horse's mouth. All these one-liners, what they like to put. What about April Fool's Day, when it's the beginning of the year? All this, what they've done, and you think that nothing was going to happen to you. Just because you've got what? Prince Hall Masonry, then you've got the Bougies in America, then you've got the Divine Nine, right? Let me tell you a quick secret. And don't say I haven't told you anything, right? No, calm me out. Make I tell you something. No, you see America, right? And you see the children that Father said there. Not all of them, but 90% of them, right? They were the children, my guys. Sorry, I'm spinning around like that, sorry. They were the children, right, that lynched Jesus. They were the ones that lynched him. They lynched their own king, them ones. What about, I want Herod to be my king. Now, Herod is an Edomites as well. Herod is Esauites, right? And them children did that. And they lynched their king. Don't forget to that, right? When we go to Acts 10:39, right, what does it say? We are witnesses. This is what it says, miss. When we go to Acts 10:39. It says, we are witnesses. Witnesses of what? We saw Judea and we saw Jerusalem lynch their own King Jesus. We saw it, we was there. That's what it says, right? So, that bunch, when Father says, right, I scatter you, he didn't just like shuffle up the deck and just sort of chuck you down, chuck you. No, he knew where he was scattering you, right? He knew where he was scattering you. Remember, this is all his. All. So those children who are in America, right, most of them are sellouts, Stan. Most of them Americans, you can hear me. Most of you are sellouts, Stan. Right? There's only 1% of you that are really good. 1%. And there's a husband and wife one as well. I forget their names. I know them when I see them. There's definitely Ron. Hold tight, Ron. Hold tight. We are not black people. Hold tight, Ron. TruthUnedited.com. Charlie's Angels. Hold tight. You. You are you. Salute to you, man. You. Right, and Tim as well. Bro Tim. You as well. Hold tight, Tim. Yeah, me done. Right, and brother Rushalom. See it? And Big Judah. There's 1 and 2 of them still who are militant now. And we honor you. You know what I mean? As an infant. Because these are the sons now. You know what I mean? And we're the infant, and we honor you, man. You carry on, right? And there's 1 and 2 sisters still. But this thing is real Rasta, and all the real Hebrews that stand true. But let's go back to what we're saying. America, yeah, boom. He put you guys there, right? Because don't forget, as soon as these guys murdered and massacred everyone there, what did they do after they done that? They didn't have to do nothing to fix it up because Father timed it right. So you was just there to come and do America and fix it all up for them. Don't forget, all that blood has been shed. So you're doing all that and it's oceans of blood. right? And Father's still got you guys, his children, to go in there with all that blood and fix it. Why you think that is? Now look at the way you behave in America. Look at all the wickedest stuff that happened to you in America. All the wicked slavery stuff that happened to you. All the lynching of trees. You've been lynching of trees even up to this day. Why do you think that is? Because Acts 10:39, we are witnesses of Judea and Bethlehem. His own children lynched him off a tree. His own did that. We are witnesses. So when you see it happening to you this day, why do you think that's happening? And look where it's happening, there in that horrible place in America, to one set of children. You don't see them lynching no one in England, do you? Not at all. Right? And when we come here, right, we come here on the Windrush boat. We didn't come in on no boat called White Lion. Like, hit your docks at 16, 19 to 29. We didn't come on that boat there at all. And that boat there was a nightmare. All the smells and oh God, that was a nightmare. We didn't come off that one. We came off All Roads Lead to the Windrush. We came through the wind. Because these children are born by the Ruach Kodesh, which is the wind. Right? And we're all children of the boat. Go and ask Noah. Anyway, when we came to Great Britain, listen to the name, Great Britain, we came on one boat. And the boat was called the Windrush. And when we came off that boat, we come off the boat trash and ready. And trash and ready is as equal, if not better, than done up to the nines. Right? Everyone was dressed to the eyeballs. No problems on there, apart from when we got up and the Edith said about no dogs, no blacks, no Irish. But by the time we put our foot down and we smelled it, he ever said, "Oi, come here." Him come and him scruff himself and said, "Oi, more dogs, more blacks, more Irish." And to this day, we still got the problem with the fool. But coming back to what we're saying about America, right? 1 and 2 years he will collect, don't get me wrong. Right, but the majority of these are sellouts, brother. They damn well know you are. They didn't pass nothing on to the children at all. I mean, if it comes to Christianity, you like the worst. You like the worst, America. You like the worst. Trust me, the worst. And to this day, you still don't know who you are. Right, and if you're using the Hebrew Israelites, chuck that in a bin, them lot, funded by Masonry. Right, telling people that white people are devils. Right, when the people who funded you, Esau, they are the devils. They are. The ones who funded that Hebrew Israelites is Freemasonry. They are the devils. They know exactly who you are. The thing is, you don't. From you saying that white people, right, are the cynic of Satan, then you are definitely lost with these people. Because there is nowhere in the book it says that. And if it does, come and show me. What it does say is, Esau, I have hated, and I will leave your place for jackals. Right? It doesn't say anything at all. And it says a lot of bad things about Gentiles. I can show you some places where it says in some different books. But never does it ever say that Gentiles are the seed of Satan. It never says that, bro. But that organization, what you lot are in, right, Hebrew Israelites, right, was put there by them lot. Because when Father's awakened in the dry bones and he sees the real ones, where you're connected to that, you're going around telling white people that they're devils. So when they hear about the Hebrew Yasharelites, they're like, oh, we don't like them because they're saying that we're devils. No, that is Satan. When he knew that Father was going to awaken the dry bones, which is Ezekiel 37, maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Ezekiel chapter 37 is done. It's called Awakening the Dry Bones. Satan knew this dance was going to come. So he built up another set, them lot over there, who are the real children, yeah. Right, but they have been built by Masonry, but because they belong to something, and they feel so good because they belong to something, they can't see what it is. That they're trying is nonsense. And again, come and show me where it says that white people are devils. Come and show me where it says that. Where? And I can show you where it says, I hate this child, and I'm going to leave everything to him laid waste dead. And so many different things in there it tells you about this child. Doesn't tell you anything. They are not the twin Gentiles. Right? Father's had to use Gentiles to help him. Right? Father's not going to give Gentiles, right, to us if they're the children of Satan. and then ask them back after. Don't be stupid. But he's not going to say to them, let me borrow you so I can make my children jealous. And then I'm going to let you come into the promised land as well. And that is Romans chapter 11, verse 11, 2 angel numbers. So if there was devil children, how is he letting them come in? Romans chapter 11, verse 11. How is he letting them come in? How is he asking them for favors if they're devil children? It makes no damn sense. He says all your organizations are all connected to Satan. Every last one of them. But when you're so comfortable in it, you find it difficult to come out of the lie. Because you're so comfortable in the lie. Again, you will die in the lie. Since you're so comfortable in it. And Father will make you now believe the lie. They put the spirit in you to believe the lie. Make you feel comfortable in it. You damn crocodile sprung you. What's the other? You're leading the children astray. That's what you're doing now. You want them to burn with you. But you don't want to give them none of your riches that you got. Or the scraps that you got. You don't want to help them. To have their riches and that makes you feel that you're higher than them. And that's how you built this nonsense done. Right? So we give you back all the materials. You didn't even have materials like us, you damn tramp. We was Robin Hood. We robbed the rich and we give to poor people. What am I doing with materials? Don't speak to me, man. Damn idiot. I'm a child to speak to. What am I going to do with materials? Just sit and look at it and honour it and praise it and clean it. All that nonsense. Don't be stupid, man. And that's the system we live in. It shuts you down, man. It rewards you on stupidity. Rewards you on simplicity things, on simple things. Slimplicity, I can't say. Slimplicity, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just go viral. I just did this and I'm viral. So it gets you to do stupid stuff so you can be viral. That's the system done. That is your system. Rewards foolishness. So it makes you have a mentality of foolishness. Because when you do foolishness, you get praise for it. When you do badness, you get praise for it. When you do good stuff for it, they want to lock you up, take away your home, and do all sorts. So that makes you think, oh, I better not do anything good, and stuff like that. And that's how it works. So when you do something bad now, they praise you. So you think, oh, I must do something bad. No! Idiot. It's a trap. It's a game. It's all a game, man. It's all a game. Ain't you good at playing games? It's a game, man. When it's not a game, it's when they go out the sky. That's when you know, and your heart stops beating. The Father says, son, don't worry. I will restart the heart again. You know how much time Moses, right? Not Moses, sorry. Adam, Adam, and Eve. Yeah? You know how much time they commit suicide? Do you know how much times they commit suicide, right, guys? In this book here. You know how much time they commit suicide in this book? You stay there, and every time they commit suicide, they jump off mountains, don't they? The light is nearly coming out of there. Father says, right, get up, kids, come on. And they get up, man, I'm not joking. Boy, I mean, the power of this Yahuwah, I am not joking, guys. You need to get on board, man. You know, it's like the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. And you know when you just go to the wardrobe, it's just like the different life. This is this, man. I'm not joking. And it's for everybody. It's not just for one person, it's for everyone. You just got to show them love, man. But where you haven't got the grandma, right, and the grandpa treatment, right, we're kind of rusty. So make sure you took the grandma and grandpa in it, and you just got these so-called kings, where you just do as you want, you mean, just beat up whoever you want, and then all the good spirits are not going to come next to you, are they? And you put poo-poo on Jesus as well, right? And you don't read the Torah so you can see what's going on. So you're blind, man. You're blind. You know, you've got no power. You need to have this power, man. It's a spiritual power, man. You need to have it. There's no power in the flesh. You need to wake up out of that nonsense, done. There's no power in this damn flesh. There's the power's within, done. And it's there for everyone. You just got to know how to get it. And to tap into it, done. Damn Satan child. Don't be frightened of it, man. I'm pure idiot, man. Right? Alright, last tune. I don't want to get in trouble by dealing them, look. Right, last tune. Nice tune. Nice tune. Nice tune. Right. That's a beautiful tune. That's a beautiful tune now. Just like you, Father. Just like you. Just like you. We love you. We love your energy. We love everything about you. We too. We just want to be like you. Do you know what? That's what that name means, you know, guys. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. It's behind there. It means... I can't see it now. It says, guys, it says, who is like Yahuwah? That's what it says, miss. And there's no one that says it's a gift. But when we get into British murder, I still got some of that fish names. And I'll do a video, and then we're going to chill out, I'm going to put some money on it as well. I am. The love of Yahuwah. Yeah, my man's good as well. Church life, he's good as well. Don't fall for the enemy, just trying to troll you. They're always trolling me, bro. Bring back slavery. I bet you'd like to, guys. Come on. Your dance is done. Your dance is done. But we're here for the good white people. You're damn right we are. We're good white team. We're good white team. You know what I mean? You know how much friends I got? Good white friends. I got so much friends. It's unbelievable. A lot of people who hate me, but they love me. Yeah. Right. I know. What can I say? Just gotta be gentle with them, that's all. They'll come around soon. They come around already. You gotta be gentle with them, bro. Right. That's what you gotta be. Just gentle with them. And I am. Damn right I am.
It was recent, mate. It was dark. It was in the woods.
Uh-oh. Alright, come in.
I was...
Come in. You murder. Right, let's set you up over here. Right, come here. Come here. What
Laura and Marco were mid-air over the Mediterranean.
by accident. Fate didn't have them pretending they owned Captain Alberto's seasick
Come here.
and luck didn't have them finding their sea legs.
I'm gonna leave it there then.
Laura did. When she booked a boat cruise or Get Your Guide, book forward to it.
I was shining the torch ahead of me and I saw something in light.
Brilliant. Sorry, we harvesting.
And as I got closer, I realised that it was Jodie.
Judy.
She was dead.
Right. I want to go see Deuteronomy tomorrow now. We'll start Deuteronomy. From the beginning.
It's been described by police as one of the most violent murders in a generation.
Why?
Putting up with us.
14-year-old schoolgirl killed in broad daylight. Jodie Jones had everything to live for, but her life was cut cruelly short when she was brutally attacked.
She put up an enormous fight.
There was evidence of a struggle. The area was heavily bloodstained.
She was virtually decapitated.
This was probably the most shocking and horrific murder in Scottish criminal history.
Them sons, miss.
Children being accused of horrendous crimes tends to attract a massive amount of outrage.
He was a Satan-worshipping,
scary
gothic
I know what happened to
This is a little village, and we've got a devil worshipper. You can just imagine the fear.
Come on. I'm sure we can work a bit of magic.
Mitchell was convicted and jailed for a minimum of 20 years.
Crazy. There's no echo, there's no... It just goes on like it just goes on. What is going on? Huh?
I've been locked up for a crime I did not commit. I can't be more clear.
Poor boy. I absolutely did not commit. You're not doing it. You're not doing it. That is British system. Nepotism. Wouldn't surprise you. Nepotism. Wouldn't surprise you, matey. Nepotism. Redheads. Medium system. Come here. Come here. How's that? Is it better? That's better, guys. You know the people change your head. They might not the people change your head.
Dalkeith's the biggest town in this area. Originally a market town, about 8 miles from Edinburgh. In a sort of semicircle, there's maybe half a dozen little interlinked villages. Some of them were mining villages, some of them grew up out in the market town of Dalkeith. Nothing ever really happens here. It's an ordinary place with ordinary people. Teenagers Jodie Jones and Luke Mitchell lived in the neighbouring villages of East Houses and New Battle. They had been dating for 5 months.
I met her a few times, not a lot, but I met her a few times. Typical 14-year-old, shy but not to the awkward stage and not cocky. Just a lovely, well-mannered wee girl.
30th of June 2003. Jodie and Luke arranged to meet as usual after dinner.
A very, very ordinary Monday. Couldn't have been more ordinary. But as it turned out, it wasn't, was it?
Jodie doesn't arrive to meet Luke, and just after 10 p.m, her family realise she hasn't been seen since 5 o'clock. A search party is arranged to find her.
Luke came to me in a bit of a state saying, Dodie's missing. And he borrowed the torch and off they went.
Luke meets Jodie's family at the top of Rowansdyke Path, a woodland shortcut connecting both their homes. Waiting for him at the top of the path were Judy's sister Janine, her gran Alice, and Janine's boyfriend, Stephen Kelly. So they all set off down the path, and they're just past this break in the wall, and Luke goes over the wall and he calls out, "I think there's something here." The sister's boyfriend, Stephen Kelly, then goes over the wall, and the granny, well, she wants to see for herself what's there.
Mr. A, guys.
And she started screaming.
Mr. A, guys. Mr.
Jodie had been beaten.
Boy.
Her hair had been pulled out by the roots.
Oh.
She'd been strangled.
Boy.
Her throat was cut between 12 and 20 times.
What?
She was virtually decapitated.
Jodie Jones was found hidden in woodland on the other side of a wall running alongside a path. Tonight there is a very real, deep sense of shock that a crime like this has happened here.
With over 37,000 hotels at your fingertips, the power of Love Holidays is just one click away.
From the minute the news of the murder broke on the morning of July 1st, the hysteria, the relentless media coverage, the fear, the fact that something like that could happen in this area.
Detectives have warned Dalkeith teenagers starting the summer break to be on their guard.
There was a maniac roaming among us.
Police have staged a reconstruction of the last known movements of murdered teenager Jodie Jones.
Tonight, motorists were being asked if they were here a week ago.
Jodie's clothes are undergoing forensic examination.
I got a call from a police officer. They wouldn't tell me what had happened, just that they were taking Luke and Mia, our dog, to the police station and could I meet them there. Then we were questioned about that night, and they tape your conversations, and my tape was marked witness, and I noticed that Luke's tape was marked suspect.
It appeared that Luke Mitchell was now prime suspect. Police believed he had led the search party to Jodie's body, a location only her killer could have known. It seemed 14-year-old Luke Mitchell had become the prime suspect in his girlfriend's murder. A police search of his house revealed more about his character.
Mitchell had really highly peculiar habits at home. He was storing up jars of urine in his room. He was a dope-smoking, kind of feral youth, scary gothic character.
They found satanic slogans on his school jodgers. And one of the things that made this case seem really scary, really terrifying, was this emphasis that Luke Mitchell was a devil worshipper, that he was into the occult. And he was obsessed by the Black Dahlia murders. Jodie's injuries were said to have some similarity to those of a murder victim known as the Black Dahlia, a young woman who had been mutilated in a ritualistic killing.
The Black Dahlia case was the killing of a young woman called Elizabeth Short in Los Angeles in 1947. She was found horribly mutilated. She'd been severed in two, so the legs and the torso had been separated. Was Mitchell inspired by the Black Dahlia?
The case against Luke Mitchell was building. The police were closing in, and the press began to name him as the main suspect.
This stuff was being gobbled up insatiably in broadsheets as well as tabloids. It's got a kind of horror movie element to it. You know, this is about a young girl who's 14 who's found brutally murdered. Add in that, all that crazy stuff around devil worship and drugs, and you have a really kind of toxic brew that people couldn't get enough of.
The press just ran amok. They were virtually camped outside our door with their sandwiches and flasks, flinging themselves on my car when my car left the driveway just to get a close-up of Luke.
There was the story which became enormous of Luke Mitchell being asked not to attend the funeral of Jodie Jones.
We weren't allowed to go to Jodie's funeral, and I asked why, and they said because the family were frightened that we would turn it into a circus.
On the day that the funeral happened, he decided to sit down with Sky News and do an interview.
Sky came to my door and I told them, yes, we were having a vigil for Jodie. So they asked if they could come in and to witness that. I thought, what harm can it do? In fact, I thought it would do better because there was whisper of, say, Luke not caring a jot, and he was unemotional, and he was this, that, and the other. And I thought, well, at least if we show them this, then at least they know we are thinking about her, and we do have emotions and whatnot. So I let them in, and basically that horrible little man started almost interviewing Luke.
What would you say to those who would look at you and think he killed his girlfriend?
I just said they're being naive, not to believe everything you read in the papers. It's trial by media.
The interview itself had a rather unpleasant sort of vibe to it.
The police and accusations and things I couldn't care about. It was just